6-3, eh? 6-3. Okay, so you know the number 3 is actually pretty important here. Not because it's the amount of goals that the Colorado Avalanche scored in Game 6 of their second round series against the Vegas Golden Knights. Not only is 3 half the amount of goals that Vegas scored in this Game 6, taking the win 6-3. Yeah, a lot of threes showing up in there, eh? But also the number 3 is important because obviously this is Game 6, so that's 3 times 2. But this is the third time in 4 years that the Vegas Golden Knights are going to the conference finals. They did it in their first year, when they went to the finals and eventually lost to Ovechkin. They didn't do it in their second year because they blew that lead against the San Jose Sharks in the first round. Okay, cool. Last year, they defeated Vancouver in Game 7 after holding a 3-1 lead in that series too, putting them in the conference finals but eventually losing to the Dallas Stars. Now, one of the better players on the Stars that year, especially in the finals, was Carey Price. And now you have yourselves Carey Price going off against the Vegas Golden Knights once again. That's not even the angle I wanted to start this video off of, but it's what I just thought of on the fly here. The Montreal Canadiens' next opponent is confirmed. It's the Vegas Golden Knights. We have our final 4 matchups here, Montreal-Vegas, as well as Tampa-New York. Crazy how 3 of the 4 conference finals half a year ago? No, more like 9 months ago? I don't know. I can't do math. Kind of crazy how the final 4 teams in that sphere, you literally have 3 of the 4 coming back in the form of Vegas, New York, and the Lightning. And again, of course, we have the Carey Price thing. He played for Dallas last year. They went to the finals. He's playing for Montreal this year, also playing the Vegas Golden Knights in the 3rd round. So it's going to be really interesting to see how exactly these 2 teams are going to go at it. I kind of feel really bad for Colorado fans because I think they deserved a lot better than what their team was showing off in that Game 6. We saw the desperation. You see the number 3 coming back out here. Triple shifts for 3 of these guys in Rantanen, McKinnon, and Makar. They didn't leave the ice, bro. And to be fair, the Vegas Golden Knights did a really good job at shutting them down, but it's just, man, you know the talent, the caliber of players that exist on this Colorado team. After Game 1, man, Vegas showed up, and Vegas devised a plan that very effectively shut those guys down. And now we have ourselves a conference final series between Montreal and Vegas, which, if you've been seeing the videos I've been making here, I'm kind of pulling for. I'm really excited to seeing this one because of all the storylines and the styles that we're going to be seeing go off against each other. Montreal shut down Matthews and Marner. Montreal devised a plan to pretty much neutralize the Connors and the Wheelers and the Ehlers in that second round. Vegas, similar thing. In the first round, it was Kirill Kaprizov. In the second round, it was Nathan McKinnon. Okay, McKinnon had a great Game 1, we get that, but he was held pointless for a very good chunk of this series. Vegas is going up against a team that doesn't really have a superstar that they need to shut down. Cole Caulfield, the majority of his production has come in overtime, okay. Nick Suzuki scored some clutch overtime goals, but he is by far not the biggest cog on this team. Quick caveat, though, on Nick Suzuki. Hey, we got it! Suzuki versus Pacioretty, baby! Let's see how that's gonna go down. I said all the hypotheticals in the previous video. Imagine Pacioretty scores like an overtime winner in the Bell Center on Carey Price, and Nick Suzuki with the turnover or something. Things can get crazy. Also, you have Alex Tuch on this Vegas squad, whose little brother is a Canadiens prospect in Luke Tuch. So the family ties, obviously, you know, Tomas Tatar is involved in that as well, but Tatar hasn't been playing the past few games, so I haven't really been acknowledging the Tatar connection there. Plus, Tatar only played such a limited time in Vegas anyway, and he wasn't really that effective. It's the entire reason they traded him to Montreal in the first place. But Nick Suzuki and Pacioretty right now, these are the 2 big pieces on both of these teams that were swapped for each other, and I can't wait to see how that matchup goes on. Okay, back to the actual Canadiens and their roster here. Tyler Toffoli has come alive, but it's not even like it's his team either. You have Paul Byron, who's only scored a few points here and there, but there are some pretty big points. Josh Anderson only has 1 goal, but he's due. You have yourselves so many players on this Habs squad that are equally presented on the ice. They're all sharing equal ice time. So for Vegas to go up and try to get a matchup going here, try to say, okay, we have to get our shutdown line going up against the big bad line of Austin Matthews or of Connor McDavid. You can't do that with Montreal because all four of Montreal's lines are equally pressurized to being able to produce offense as well as assess their own defensive roles too. This is going to be a crazy matchup because the styles are so similar between both of these teams. And whoever wins, you could say they're probably going to get crushed by Tampa because Tampa's $18 million over the cap, so they're going to go out there and win again, which is, oddly enough, the prediction that I had all the way back when the season started. But, yeah, either or. Congrats to the Vegas Golden Knights. It makes me really salty to see that because I'm a Canucks fan who is still pretty ticked off that the Golden Knights were the better team in 2020's bubble playoffs. I get that Vancouver should have lost that series, which is what they did, but man, does it not sting less remembering that. But now, it's Montreal's turn, my second favorite team going up against the beast that is the Golden Knights of Las Vegas. And you take a look at what I was concerned about with this entire series between Colorado Vegas, that entire stat that was highlighted by La Presse, when Game 4 winners play Game 7 winners in the next round, Game 4 winners spanning back 20 years lose. And the Habs exhibited that exact same statistic in the previous series. When they beat Toronto in Game 7, they played off against a Winnipeg team that won in 4. They ended up sweeping the Jets in the second round. Who would have figured that the stat was that constant? Now, we don't have to worry about that for round 3 if you're a Montreal fan, because this series between Vegas and Colorado, it ended off at 6. So we don't have a Game 7 to defy the odds and demonstrate that statistic once more, which is good. I didn't want to tempt fate here. It's just kind of crazy how Colorado, of all teams, was so hyped up by all the statistical, analytical, data-based models towards being this powerhouse. And to be frank, they were. They were crazy good this year. And for the first good chunk of the playoffs, they demonstrated so much success. But Vegas, I said it a ton, man. It's the styles. It's the plan. You don't have a Vegas squad that's going out there only relying on their guys up top. They have an entire deep roster with heart, soul, determination, an ability to forecheck, an ability to defend and shut down the opposition that reigns true throughout the entire lineup. And that is going to be a crazy matchup for a Montreal team that kind of plays the same way. So I'm excited. Let me know in the comments what you think about Vegas-Montreal. Let me know who you think is going to win. Because honestly, and I know I'm a Canadiens fan, secondary Canadiens fan, tertiary Red Wings fan, but first, primary Vancouver Canucks fan. I know I'm a Habs fan at heart. But it's kind of whack that my gut is saying Vegas is going to win this series in like 6 or something. I don't know, maybe it's possible that Vegas gets goalied again. We saw exactly what happened last year. The only reason Vancouver-Vegas went to 7 is because Thatcher Demko came in after the Markstrom injury. He stole games 5 and 6, or whatever it was. Yeah, I think it was 5 and 6, right? Vancouver dropped the first game, won game 2, then they lost 2 more, something like that. We can see Vegas getting goalied again. They got goalied in Game 2 against Colorado here because Philip Grubauer was absolutely incredible. If Carey Price can come out here and be the Carey Price that we know he can be, which I have no reason to doubt that Carey Price exists and is thriving high in this moment right here, we could have ourselves a much better series than Vegas in 6, like my heart is kind of saying. But you know what? I've been kind of getting my behind bitten the entire playoffs because at the very beginning I said Leafs in 5 against Montreal. In the second series, I said I didn't care about the series because of how good Montreal performed in games 5, 6, and 7 against Toronto. That euphoria was so strong to the point that I didn't really care if the Canadiens went out there and lost against Winnipeg. And that's kind of where the video I made was coming from. I was kind of feeling a loss coming through because Winnipeg was so good against Edmonton. But hey, they went out there and they got swept themselves too. So interesting to see how that falls down. Montreal-Vegas is going to be a series. Game 1 is going to be on Monday, I believe. I'm going to try to stream for it, man. I really want to go out there and do the full game streams again. I will be honest, though. Vegas is kind of tough because I don't have a Vegas jersey lying around. I do have a Rantanen Colorado Avalanche jersey, so at the very beginning I was kind of thinking maybe it would be better if we had Montreal, Colorado, so I could have the jersey in the back. But hey, we've got 2 Montreal jerseys, I guess. Well, we have a Montreal jersey and a Cole Caulfield, Wisconsin jersey, so I'm not really too sure how we're going to go about that. I don't really have anything for Vegas, so yeah, that's going to be weird to try to hang up in the background. But either or, we have ourselves a series here. Let's do streams for the games, man. I'm really pumped. I hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to me in the comments what you think about this series, what's going to happen, who you got, Vegas or Montreal. So that's Trolls 99. And bye.